to learn how to make spaghetti. All right. Okay. After a long day of work, right? Nobody want to make, you know what I'm saying, like a chef meal, spend hours in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You want something fast. You want something comforting. You know what I'm saying? You want something that's good. That's going to, you know what I'm saying, quench your hunger, you know? So this is my go-to, and that is spaghetti. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to make a delicious spaghetti dinner using ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen, which, you know, probably should. So no fancy cooking, no stress, and yes, we're using jarred sauce. Because like I said, don't nobody want to just chef and slave in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You just want something, you know, you're hungry. Don't nobody want to do all that. Okay, so now I've made this meal dozens of times and it never fails. So whether you're cooking it for yourself, your roommates, or your family, spaghetti is simple, it's satisfying, and totally customizable. So we are going to go over how to cook your pasta to your liking, because you know some people they like their pasta different, and how to upgrade your jar sauce with easy little tricks. You know, we're gonna splash a little stuff something in there just to make it look, you know, nice and good. And I'm going to show y'all how to combine it and serve it like a pro. So, how do we personalize it, right? You know, to fit your needs, you know, things like that. First, we are going to start with your pots of water. Now, I have one pot that's for my pasta, and I have another pot, and that is for my protein, which is, you know, to your liking. All right. So we want to have enough water to fill at least half of your pot. We don't want to fill the pot all the way up because your noodles are going to be boiling in that pot. Now, once we have the water boiling, which is what I do now, which I have right now, you're going to add your noodles. Me, I like panini noodles. You can use the long noodles. You can use the spiral noodles. It's up to you. Me, I like panini noodles, so that is what I'm going to use today. Next, we are going to add salt. Now, you're not going to add a lot of this. Listen, you're not going to add a lot of this. You're going to add a pinch. A pinch. So, I like to just put it in my hand like this because we washed our hands. All of us washed our hands. And, as you can see, it's just a little, and you just sprinkle it in there. And that is so your noodles do not stick to your pan. They don't stick together. You want these noodles to be nice and, you know, little boingy. You want them separated. You don't want these noodles sticking together. Okay? So, once you have your boiling pot, like I said, you add in your noodles. And after you add in your noodles, we are going to stir these noodles occasionally. For me, I'll say about 8 minutes, maybe. Depends on, you know, because sometimes your stove is different as well. So you're going to stir those noodles occasionally. And you're going to cover that with a lid. So after we do that, right, we go to the other pot, which has the other water in it. This is where we add our protein. Now, some like to use lamb or turkey, or maybe even chicken. But today we are going to use hamburger. I learned it this way from my mom, you know, watching her cook every day. So, you know, it's more easier, you know, and it adds more flavor to just noodles and sauce. You know, you want to add some protein in there, especially people who are big on their protein intake. Now, for the sauce, Yes, it's a jar. But it's not going to taste like jar sauce when we are done. I have onion powder, black pepper, Italian seasoning sauce, and garlic powder. We're going to add all of that to this. And after we are done with that, for those who like, a little sweetness in the spaghetti, which I do, I have our sugar. And with our sugar, you're going to use about 1.5 cups. If, depends on how you like it, how sweet do you want it. And after we do that, we're going to come back to our noodles. We're going to stir this occasionally, like we said. And then you chop up your meat. Now, okay, once your pasta is cooked and once it is warmed and seasoned, it's time to bring it all together. So first, when you are plating your spaghetti, you are going to want to add your sauce first. You do not want to add, you don't want to add the pasta to the sauce. You want to add the sauce to the pasta. No, you don't want to add the pasta to the sauce. Yes, no. But not the sauce to the pasta. So you will be taking your noodles and you will be putting them in your pot with your sauce. After you do that, you're going to take some of the water that you have from boiling your noodles. You're going to save at least 1/2 cup of that, and we're going to put that in with the sauce, just so it could have that little, like it won't be so stuck together. Your sauce will mix more. It will mix better. So once you're done with all of that, we're going to toss that together. You're going to toss that with whatever you want to toss that with. And then we'll add toppings. I like to use Parmesan cheese for one topping. Most actually like to use actual cheese for a topping. And we're going to top it all off with a starter salad and a side of breadsticks, which is going to take you 7 to 9 minutes. So that will be about 30 minutes of you in the kitchen cooking your noodles, your sauce,